so who we got in front of the camera?
My name is Riza. I'm 26 years old, and I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas.
All right, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at SASORIZV.
All right, so tell me what it was like growing up for you in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
It was rough. In my early years, my older brother pretty much babysat me my whole life, man, and just brought the trap game into my life, So as a kid, I was like literally just raised in a trap home, and my family was just all loud family, and then my brothers, all my brothers and cousins was just all loud bloods and shit, and so I had to kind of face reality pretty early, in that nature, it's like you don't even realize. I don't even think the older group or the older people that you look up to at that time was like didn't even realize they were setting a bad example, because that's just all they know, and they were raised the same way, and I was raised the same way, so it was just like second nature, just trapping and just living that life, and so yeah.
So where at in Fort Worth is this loud community?
Well, the Bloods stay in haltom City, and most of the Crips stay in like Saginaw area. But Laos people and gangs, man, they're just hand in hand, man. They just it's been part of our culture since day one. I honestly though I can't even remember any time there wasn't any any Asian gangs or like being involved with some major shit, but these guys were like the main guys, and so just growing up in that environment, man, it was it put a lot of different meaning to life, at such an early age, and it's like all these young kids, or some of my homies that I grew up with that looked up to their older brothers and shit, and just got into that game, and they got lost in it, and they ended up just getting caught up. And it's just like being in that game, man, it's like the whole time they were prepping us to just one day get caught up. And it's just the reality of it, and so
So what were some of the things that you saw like growing up in that community?
Man, just where we was living at the time, it was like this. It's right off of Springdale in Haltom City. There was these projects. It was like these complexes, but they were like, it was just like a one-story building, and then it was split down the middle, and it was two houses or two townhomes or whatever you want to call it, and. At that time, yeah, it was my older brother, me, my dad, my mom's, and my grandma. Living in like a two bedroom little townhome, and it was tight. It was a tight squeeze in there, So my mom, she worked nights, so she was always sleeping during the day, and then my dad was having during the day, wouldn't come home till like late at night, and my grandma, she was just old, she was the main one that was always home and kind of somewhat babysitting us, but it was just it was a very like low time, I guess, so growing up in that area, and just kind of being overlooked all the time, like growing up, outside of that block. And so, so my older brother, he was around, so he was just, he would always babysit me, and then, but my dad didn't really give too much of a shit. My mom, she just never saw shit that was going on, but yeah, my brother had a homie that stayed like 2 blocks over, so he would times he would babysit me, he would take me over there, just maybe sit there, man. I'd watch people come in and out of the house, selling shit, taking shit, you know, smoking, just left and right, like, then some of his other homies would like come back with a fucking boosted whip, and they just stole that shit from the school parking lot type shit, and I mean, it was like, this is like an everyday thing, you know, so that kind of life, you know, taught me about reality pretty early, and you know, it's always, you know, run as a pack, but at the same time, if you run in a pack, you know, with people that are going to the same destination, and you don't see really any benefits from that destination, then it's just gonna clearly just keep dragging you down, you know. So I had to, you know, I learned all this, you know, at such an early age, man, and just I started to notice, like, you know, this shit really ain't for me. Like, you know, there was something more than this, and what, you know, there's gotta be more than this, you know. And so my point of like even trapping was just to save enough money just to get out the fucking hood. Run it up until we all crash, throwing all the ones for the day.